The strongest dragon slayer of today got captured by this haughty dragon queen. But this hero had a trick up his sleeve and used his secret curse technique on her in order to get free. However, this technique had a negative effect on her, making her super horny and thirsty for his huge meat. And then plap plap plap. Well, let's just say the dragon queen thoroughly enjoyed herself. This baddie squeezed him so dry that he had to sleep for the whole 2 years, and when he woke up, he found a little girl with a tail next to his bed. Deep within the dragon territory's prison, a captured dragon slayer awaits his fate. The silver dragon queen, Rosweiss, orders her guards to leave, desiring a private conversation with the hero. Standing in front of him, she inquires about the hero's feelings as a prisoner of the dragon clan. However, the hero, weary of suffering, pleads for a swift, merciful death. Rosweiss, with a cruel smile, denies his request, promising a torturous end instead. She lightly scratches his cheek with her nail, remarking that a few more scars would perfectly complement his handsome face. He urges her to quickly end his life, unable to endure further humiliation. She tastes his blood and offers him a twisted bargain: join the dragon clan and serve them for eternity. He smirks, daring her. "Are you worthy?" Enraged by his insolence, she hurls him against the wall and steps on him, reminding him of his precarious position, being at the hand of the Dragon Clan. She taunts him, stating that Leon, the once celebrated hero of humanity, is now at her mercy. His dream of defeating the Dragon Clan will forever remain unfulfilled. He could have had the opportunity to let his descendants enjoy wealth and glory, but he doesn't have any successors, so he won't have such a day. She mocks his lack of heirs, denying him the chance to pass on his legacy. Undeterred, he warns her not to underestimate humanity. She seizes him by the neck with her tail, demanding his surrender. Instead of begging, he points out her fatal 2 mistakes. Number 1 is underestimating him, the most powerful dragon slayer of this era, and number 2 is tasting his blood. The hero activates his secret blood curse technique, weakening her. She feels her body heating up, making her fall to the ground. She is confused by this weird feeling of arousal. "Your Majesty, you will soon suffer the torment of a cursed soul," he declares. Yet, her cheeks flush red as her arousal meter rises up. She can't hold it anymore. Suddenly, she lunges, pinning him beneath her, her big milk fountains pressing against his chest. Dumbfounded, seeing her thirsty face, he realizes she's experiencing arousal. Rosweiss leans in, her eyes filled with desire, and kisses him passionately. For the next hour, she jumps so much on his mayonnaise pipe that his brain gets numb, making him unable to think straight. He's supposed to slay the dragon, not lay the dragon. The curse's effects begin to fade. As she regains her senses, she demands to know what he did to her. So he reveals that this blood curse is a forbidden secret technique that creates connection between souls, and it can only be used one time. This technique only affects the person that drinks his blood. When he dies, the curse will put her in endless pain. However, she doesn't get his nonsense since that curse only takes effect after he dies. So now she wants to know what made her do that embarrassing act earlier. The hero says that it was an accident, and it was the side effect of the forbidden technique which he doesn't know about until now. She remains embarrassed by the incident. Seeking retribution for her earlier humiliation, he exploits the Dragon Clan's tradition of monogamy. He declares that as her dungeon down there has been used by him, a human and Dragon Nation's enemy, she can no longer marry, ensuring she will have no heirs and live a life of shame. Enraged, she lunges at him, claws raised but hesitant to kill. But the hero tells her that she doesn't have to kill him as he will soon die. As the hero slowly falls near death, he utters his final words, a chilling curse. "Live with hatred for me and pain throughout your life. This is my curse upon you as a human." Rosweiss puts his clothes on, and we can see Leon lying on the floor. She says how despicable it is for a human to take revenge on her like this, and then wants to die. "This can't be cheap," Rosweiss says. With that, she uses some kind of magical seal on him. Leon, once a legendary dragon-slaying hero, displayed exceptional courage from a young age. At 5, he fearlessly subdued a vicious dog with his bare hands, rescuing a terrified little girl. This act of bravery was witnessed by a renowned dragon slayer who immediately recognized Leon's potential and took him on as an apprentice. At 10, Leon entered the prestigious Dragon Slayer Academy, graduating 4 years later with the highest score in history. a remarkable achievement for someone so young. At 15, Leon embarked on his first dragon-slaying campaign, proving his valor on the battlefield. He slew countless dragons, achieved numerous victories for the Empire, and reclaimed vast territories. Leon became a symbol of hope, the invincible warrior who would lead the Empire to triumph and finally end the devastating war between humans and dragons. However, this beacon of hope was extinguished when Leon was captured by a formidable dragon clan. 2 years have passed since his captivity. Now, he awakens from his prolonged slumber. Panting heavily, he disorients himself, desperately trying to understand his surroundings. Suddenly, the door opens, revealing a small girl. "You're awake!" she exclaims. Leon is momentarily stunned by her cuteness. He assumes he must be in some celestial realm, and this adorable creature is an angel. "What's an angel?" she asks, tilting her head in confusion. Ignoring her question, Leon inquires, "What's your name?" "Muin," she replies with a joyful grin. Leon observes her with growing curiosity. She has a mixed hair color of black and white, which Leon finds weird. "My mother said Muin means moon," she explains. Leon's confusion deepens. "Angels have mothers?" he mutters to himself. "My name is Leon Cosmode," he states, attempting to regain his composure. "Leon means lion," she says, as if it were common knowledge. "How do you know that?" he inquired. "My mom told me," she replies innocently. A chilling realization dawns on Leon. "Who is your mother?" he asks, his voice laced with apprehension. "Rosweiss," she replies as her eyes sparkling with delight. Leon freezes momentarily as he processes this situation. If Rosweiss is the mother, then it means he is the father. Bro thought he could escape child support, but he isn't. Panic rises within him as he realizes that he suddenly became a father. Mun is his child with Rosweiss. Suddenly, the door swings open again, and Rosweiss enters the room. Mun rushes towards her, exclaiming, "Mama, Daddy's awake!" Leon and Rosweiss lock eyes. "I was waiting for you to wake up," she says, a knowing glint in her eyes. Mun excitedly exclaimed, "Mom must be so happy to see him wake up, because she came to see him every day." Rosweiss nodded affirmatively, but Leon remained unconvinced. She gently patted Moon's head and instructed her to go play outside, saying she had something important to discuss with her father. As soon as Moon left, Rosweiss locked the door. "Is Moon really my daughter?" Leon asks. "What else? She's our biological daughter?" Rosweiss replies. Leon is bewildered. "Why did you give birth to my child? And why did you save me?" he questioned, to which she replies that she cannot just let him go that easily after what he did 2 years ago. But Leon said that if that were any other time, he would never touch her. Besides, they are different, and they could never coexist. Further, he says that he never wanted to have a baby with her, not even in his dream. Rosweiss realized that physical intimacy was a form of torture for him. To Leon's utter shock, Rosweiss grabbed his legs with her tail and pushed him back onto the bed. "What are you doing?" he demanded, confused. Ignoring his question, she climbed on top of him and began to tear off his clothes. "I want to carve my own dragon pattern onto you," she declared. "This dragon pattern will become your shame. It will mark you as my slave, forever bound to me." She paused, a chilling smile playing on her lips. Imagine the humans' reaction when they see the mark of a dragon on their hero. Will they still see you as a great hero, or merely a traitor who surrendered to the dragon clan? With those chilling words, she activated the dragon pattern. It began to glow, illuminating both the mark on her chest and the one now forming on his. Leon was horrified. "Why go to such extremes for revenge?" he asks. Rosweiss chuckled, a low, menacing sound. We get to know that the dragon race's concept of revenge has always been a difficult problem for human scientists to understand. Their revenge is an inhuman behavior that combines paranoia, extreme, and beyond human understanding. She wanted him to live the rest of his life in shame, eternally humiliated by her. To Leon's surprise, he began to feel an arousing sensation. For the Silver Dragon Queen, Rosweiss, it was an immense honor to enslave the strongest dragon slayer in human history. Also, the Silver Dragon Queen's closest partner in a sense. She holds his cheeks as she says they are going to start the deed. With this, she milked him dry until the last drop of his mayonnaise. After Rosweiss had her way with him, He had passed out from the intensity of the experience. Although this kind of revenge is absurd from a human's perspective, this is her revenge on the dragon slayer as a dragon. This is more like a reward than revenge. Lucky MF got a daughter with a hot wife. The next day, Leon wakes up with dark circles around his eyes. Leon is determined not to become her plaything. To him, last night was like hell, because all she wanted him to do was to move faster. She squeezed him for a whole day and night. And now his waist is killing him. Suddenly, he hears two maids gossiping about the Dragon Queen. They point out how happy the Dragon Queen is looking today, and they think it's due to her husband waking up from a 2-year-long slumber. Anyway, Leon takes a look at the entrance of the castle, and it seems 4 guards are guarding the gate, so getting out of here is impossible. However, Leon can't seem to understand why there are only a few guards compared to when he saw them 2 years ago. Suddenly, Leon notices something. There is a hole in the wall. There is a possibility that it can be a trap. However, he decides to go through it even if it is a trap, because he has to leave this place no matter what. As he crawls toward the hole, he thinks about the perverted mother dragon, Rosweiss. In his mind, he thinks that for now, Rosweiss can only have Moon for the time being. On the other hand, Moon notices her dead, and she informs her mother saying, "Mom, look, Dad is digging a dog hole." Rosweiss, who is in her swimsuit, already noticed this. "When will Mom go and fish him back?" Moon asks. Rosweiss, tapping her mouth, says to her that it is very rude to use the word fish it back to her father. Instead, she can say, catch him back. After some time, we can see Leon running through the jungle. After running so far, he is sure that the female dragon shouldn't be able to catch him. All of a sudden, he hears a sound of wind. Looking up, he sees Rosweiss in her dragon form. He instinctively runs as fast as he can. But she appears in front of him, saying, "It must be fun to play with me like this." She points out how escaping was so easy, and how there was a hole in the wall and a few guards at the entrance. Even if he knew it was a trap, he had no choice but to take it. With this, she asks what will happen if he returns to human territory, because he has that dragon mark on his chest. Because of it, the humans will not recognize him as the hero. If that is how it is, Leon will start his life as an ordinary person rather than being humiliated by her. Rosweiss flaps her wings as she says that he doesn't know how to appreciate her kindness. Suddenly, she takes him in the sky as he panickingly asks where she is taking her. "Since you want to go back so much, I will help you," Rosweiss says. 3 hours have passed, and they are currently near the Empire border city. All of a sudden, Rosweiss drops him from the sky, landing on trees, and finally dropping on the ground, hitting his back. It turns out that Leon is near a human city. Rosweiss confirms that this is the human empire. Being so close to the city, Rosweiss asks him if he feels that he can return to the human world by just stepping over it. However, she reminds him, "But Leon, you can't go back even if it seems close at hand." With this, the mark on her chest glows, as well as activating the mark on Leon's chest. It turns out when 2 people are connected with a dragon mark and one of them wants to make love with the other, the dragon mark will respond to both of the people. That's why the dragon mark glows up on him. Rosweiss gets super close to him as she touches his dragon mark. Rosweiss knows that this dragon mark is making his body hot, itching to get started and unable to bear the urge. With this, she asks, "Do you want to do it here?" She reveals the reason why she brought him here, and that is that she wants him to understand what shame is in front of his hometown while he gets dominated by her. However, Leon declares that he will not give up and lose faith in his own kind. When the right time comes, he will pay double for all the humiliation she has done. She smiles and lets him know that she will be waiting for him, dead or alive. The moon shines the brightest tonight, illuminating the sky. An ancient big tree with a vast amount of long branches that reach the sky highlights this scene. Fireflies twinkle like scattered jewels, illuminating the undergrowth with their ethereal glow. A gentle breeze whispers through the leaves, creating a soothing symphony. In this heavenly scene, we can see Rosweiss on the base of the tree. She is so beautiful, and we can see that she is putting on her clothes. She declares that she is very satisfied with his performance just now. On the other hand, Leon is crying. realizing that she just used him like a toy, making him completely dry. She gets near to him as she playfully suggests bringing him here to visit his hometown every month. Leon jumps out from her grasp as he gets it that she is a perverted female dragon who only thinks of draining him. She smiles, realizing that she has been seen through. With this, she brings out her wings saying, "Let's go home. Our daughter is waiting for us at home." However, Leon calls out to her as he lets her know that he would walk by himself rather than being carried by her like a prey. It took 3 hours at full speed to get here. So she reminds him of the obvious fact that it will take at least 10 days for a human to get to the dragon castle just by walking. But Leon, telling her not to underestimate humans, starts to walk right away. Now Rossweiss is eager to see how long he can last. After a while, we can see Leon panting, and it seems that he is already tired. Not to mention about the lovey-dovey moment, which made him half tired. Leon states that he isn't tired at all, but the only thing Rossweiss finds tough is his mouth. All of a sudden, they notice a group of soldiers passing by. Leon gets happy realizing that he can finally be free from Rossweiss. On the other hand, she gives off an angry face. That is when he realizes that if he calls for help, Rossweiss might kill them instantly. The group leader notices them, asking if they are lost. Leon, who doesn't want innocent people to get hurt, just says that they are only hanging out. But the leader reminds them that this forest is not a place to hang out at night. The leader gets down, stating that he is one of the leaders of the Dragon Slayer army. That is when he feels like he has seen Leon before somewhere. On the other hand, Rossweiss gets ready for attack. However, Leon grabs her hand, pulling her to him as he declares that they are just a couple, having some alone fun time in the jungle. The leader leaves after seeing the loving aura they are emitting. After they are out of sight, she asks Leon how long he intended to hug her. Realizing it, he lets her go. Rossweiss finds him smart for not asking for help from them, but he has to know his position. "Even though we have children, it doesn't mean that I'm your wife," she says. Leon replies that he never thought of her as his wife. With this, she decides to go home as their daughter is waiting. However, Leon suddenly feels pain in his hand, and he collapses on the ground. Rossweiss realizes that he fainted. Therefore, she turns into a dragon and carries him to the castle. The next day, Leon wakes up and Moon is beside him. However, he wonders how he got back here. Moon lets him know that her mother brought him back home. Hearing this, Leon gets disappointed, realizing that he got caught by her like a prey. That is when he notices bandages on his hand. Moon, with sparkling eyes, informs her dad that she was the one who bandaged it. Realizing how much Moon loves him, he pats her head as he exclaims how awesome she is. After that, he whispers to Moon that she must not grow up like her mother, although she is confused about this. It turns out Rossweiss was listening to their conversation unbeknownst to Leon. Rossweiss asks what's wrong with being the same as her, which scares him. He looks away as he states nothing. On the other hand, Moon's eyes sparkled as she was excited to show her mother the bandage she did on her dad's hand. Rossweiss just says that this is what she should do. Moon replies, "Yes, Mom." Leon finds Rossweiss to be a strict mother. Leon asks Moon to go hide in the garden, and he will come to find her. Now Moon is super happy finally being able to play with her dad. With this, Leon states that he is not like her mother and starts to count. Moon runs as fast as she can while asking her dad not to count fast. Now that Moon left, Leon wants to discuss with Rossweiss. It turns out he is bothered by her for being too hard on Moon. So, Rossweiss breaks it down that all dragons went through this, even including her. By being strict with children from a younger age can only make them into stronger warriors. Leon points out the fact that Moon is not fully dragon, and besides, she's super cute, and how can she be strict about something this cute? In response, Rossweiss says that cute is a derogatory word for dragons. That is when he, with the intention to anger her, says she is also very cute. Rossweiss, with dagger eyes, grabs him by the shirt, reminding him, "You are just a slave for me to vent my anger. Stop getting ahead of me." Anyway, she gets back to her normal state. She has some government work to do, therefore, she leaves the task of taking care of the children to him. After all, Moon really loves him. Leon goes to the garden, and all of a sudden, he notices a figure. Thinks to himself that Moon is still very naive for thinking she can't be found if she hides behind him. Therefore, Luen calls out to her, "Found you, Muen!" But we can see there is no reaction in her. This made him wonder if she was angry. So he apologizes for keeping her waiting, but she runs from him. Leon tries to stop her, but she is already out of sight, now left with the realization that it's really hard to predict the mood of a child. Now he realizes why Roswaise gave him the task to take care of children. However, we can see Muen behind Leon. All of a sudden, she hugs him, saying that she has finally caught her dad. Muen, "Didn't you just run past me?" Leon asks. Confused, she replies that she came out to look for Dad since Dad couldn't find Muen. This makes him wonder if he saw that wrong. Muen doesn't give him the time to think about that, as she starts to take her somewhere because she has something to show him. We can see that girl from before, who looks just like Muen, watching them from afar. Well, what the heck is going on here? Later, Muen takes him to the garden and we can see Leon sitting as Muen is drawing. Leon feels his heart getting healed as he watches his cute daughter drawing. Leon realizes that having a daughter is good. Muen excitedly runs toward his dad to show her the drawing. It turns out it's a family photo with Leon, Roswaise, and 2 children. Leon asks about why there are 2 kids, to which she replies that that's her sister. This surprised him. It turns out that he not only hit the target with 1 shot, but also hit it twice with 1 shot. Now he realizes that the girl he saw in the garden was her second daughter, and he thinks that she got angry because he called her by the wrong name. However, Muen lets him know that sister isn't angry, she is just a little shy when she sees Dad. Leon agrees since they haven't met each other yet, and he thinks to himself that it's all that Mother Dragon's fault. On the other hand, we can see Roswaise dealing with government affairs. Suddenly, Leon bursts open the door. She asks, "Where is Muen?" To which he replies that she went to play with her sister. Leon, stating how good she is at hidden things, asks when she is going to tell him that he has an older daughter. Roswaise just replies, "Don't you already know this by now?" Anyway, Leon thanks her for giving birth to his child, since giving birth to a child is hard work, although he didn't expect she would give birth to 2 children for him. Therefore, he comes to the conclusion that she has worked so hard for him. He also says that he will write her name in the family tree when he gets back to his hometown. This kinda makes her angry. However, she stands up and smilingly asks, "Oh, do you want to know why I didn't tell you about the existence of my eldest daughter?" Leon guesses that she must be jealous, seeing the closeness with Muen. That's why she deliberately didn't let Noah meet her father. Roswaise replies, "Are you so anxious to see her?" In return, Leon says, who doesn't want to meet their daughter? Besides, he is not a cold and stern mother, and all he wants to do is to cultivate a good relationship between father and daughter. Roswaise smiles as she says, "Okay, don't regret it." Now Leon is in the kitchen, dedicated to showing what he is capable of to Roswaise, and is locked in to cook delicious food for the children. So, Leon's first step to get closer to his elder daughter is to make delicious food for her. It turns out he is making a cream stew. Back in the day, he used to make this, and those who tasted it liked the taste. He goes on to taste it, and he is happy with the result he got. Now he is damn sure that taste will definitely win Noah over. We can see 2 maids are watching Leon cook. One of the maids with sparkling eyes says, "The prince just recovered from a serious illness, and he still cooks for his family." The maid also says, "He is really a good male dragon who really cares about his family." Suddenly, Roswaise appears with her children. Before entering the dining room, Roswaise orders the maid to rest today. Leon welcomes them, and Muen already notices the nice smell. Leon lets them know that he cooked their favorite stew and steak. As he looks at Noah, he just looks away, making him shocked. Well, this isn't the reaction he was expecting. Roswaise knew this kind of situation would happen. That is why she didn't tell him about Noah right away. Since this is Noah and Leon's first formal meeting, Roswaise tells her to introduce herself. "I am Noah, the eldest daughter of Silver Dragon Queen Roswaise. I am 1 year and 2 months old," Noah says. We get to know that baby dragons grow faster than human babies. So, the second step for Leon to get closer to his elder daughter is to say hello politely and leave a good impression. But Noah isn't impressed at all, making him wonder if she has a grudge against him. Muen comes to her whispering, "Sister, please talk more. Don't embarrass Dad." That is when Noah expresses her doubt if he really is their father since he looks so weak. This just stabs him in the heart. So Leon's career as a father faces his first crisis. Yes, I admit your father is weak, but that weak father hit 2 targets with 1 shot, lol. Also, your father is looking weak because your mother squeezes him like lemon every night and is the first in history to hit 2 stones with the silver dragon. Now the family is at the dinner table. The 2 daughters look similar, but their personalities are completely different. And it's obvious that Noah is more like her mother. Eager to know, Leon asks Noah if she likes the taste. Noah just replies, "Disgusting," which stabs right at his heart. Rosweiss laughs at this, which makes Moon ask her mother for the reason for her happiness. Well, Leon finally got to reunite with their family. So seeing Leon happy also makes Rosweiss happy. That is when Rosweiss asks him if she was right or not. We can see he kinda agrees with her. That is when Moon asks if he is going to have dinner with them every day. Leon doesn't want to eat with Rosweiss every day because she teases him a lot whenever she gets any chance. However, before Leon says anything, Noah just says no. Moon, who wants to know the reason, Noah reasons that she wants to study at the famous Dragon Academy. The Young Dragon Department of Saint Health Academy is full of 5-year-old kids. So Rosweiss wants to know why she is anxious to enroll. "Because I want to defeat more dragon slayers," she says, which makes Leon cough. Leon kinda gets that Noah wants to defeat him. Leon is worried that she will get hurt because she is so young. In return, Noah tells him not to treat her as a child, which makes him shocked. On the other hand, Rosweiss thinks the opposite. The sooner you learn the skill, the sooner you can fight the Dragon Slayer. "Isn't that right, Leon?" she asks. She further asks if he has any reason to stop Noah from going to school. Leon knows that if he continues to oppose it, Noah will definitely hate him more. So he agrees with it. Leon finally realizes that Rosweiss is using Noah to mentally attack him during this dinner. We can see fire rising up around Leon as he sets his mind to kick her ass later. Now Rosweiss declares that since it is decided and the test for the academy will be held in 1 month, her father will help him teach in the meantime. So, this concludes the family dinner. Leon calls out to Rosweiss, pointing out that the plate hasn't been cleaned, but she says to leave this to the maids. In return, Leon states that a perfect family dinner ends with the couple cleaning the plates. That is when he whispers, "Don't you want to create a harmonious family atmosphere around them?" Looking at them, Rosweiss notices how excited Moon is to this. Without hesitation, Rosweiss agrees, and that is when Moon raises her hand as she also wants to help. But Noah takes her away. Some time passes and we can see Rosweiss cleaning the dishes. Rosweiss wants to know when he will come and help. That is when he reminds her what he told her 2 years ago. "You should never be alone with a highly trained and strong dragon slayer." That is when the dragon mark on her chest lights up, prompting her to ask what he did. Leon explains that back in the forest he was exhausted, and that's why she was able to do whatever she wanted and control him by her dragon pattern. But now it's all different. Trying to hit him, she reminds him that he can't escape from here just by using tricks. Leon blocks her attack and says that this time he will not run away, and this is just a payback. Suddenly, Rosweiss's body starts to heat up, and he cannot stand anymore as her legs are shaking. Therefore, she falls down on the ground. "Are you unable to do anything, Her Majesty? The dragon pattern makes your tail extremely sensitive. When your tail is pinched, you are like a kitten being pinched by the back of the neck, weak and powerless." It turns out he discovered this knowledge from the Dragon Book. That is when he gets close to her, asking, "Rosweiss, you dragons are eager to conquer and control everything. But have you ever been conquered?" This makes her shocked as her cheeks blush red. "Let me conquer her." Rosweiss's heart is beating fast and she is breathing heavily. That is when she shyly requests him to let go of her tail. From the day Leon woke up, she trampled his dignity underfoot and treated it as a toy for her entertainment. So now Leon wants to switch things up. Leon wants her to be his toy for tonight. This kinda angers her as she says, "Leon, you bastard!" That is when they heard some noise from the outside. It turns out that the maids are going to clean. But when they open the doors, they are surprised to see it's already clean, making them wonder if the prince did it. It turns out that Leon and Rosweiss are hiding inside a door. Grabbing her mouth, Leon tells her to be quiet if she doesn't want to be discovered. He is sure of it that the queen, who is usually so high and mighty, doesn't want to be seen in her weak state being teased. "Or you like being watched while doing it?" Leon says. After some time, the maids leave. Rosweiss, who is so weak to fight back, gives a sharp look at Leon. Leon grabs her mouth and whispers to her ears, "Well done being silent and obeying my orders like a good girl. Let's get started, my dear wife." That is when Rosweiss gives off a defeated look as her cheeks blush red.